Hi, I'm Rob Cram, and today we're taking another look at Cyberpunk 2077. And this time I'm going to be taking a look at the camera mode and effects you can create when taking photos. So obviously I've got all these characters spawned in here. And I'm going to say that I'm playing now in native 4K resolution. So if I just hold the screen here, you can see that this is looking exceptionally sharp, but unfortunately it is running less than 30 frames per second because I'm not using any DLSS. I'm just using native 4K at ultra settings. I can show you those settings right now. So basically 4K, and with all of these on their maximum, including psycho ray tracing, but no DLSS. So this is why it's chugging the RTX 3090, but it does look rather fantastic, as you can see, really nice and sharp. And these character models look really cool as well close up. If we go and zoom in closer to them, but you can see that frame rate tanking to below 20 frames per second. So it's not an ideal way to play it in this way, but it's great for getting high-res screenshots. If we just pan around a bit more, you can see more of that there as well, looking really nice and sharp and crisp. Okay, so first things first, my character. If I go into photo mode, you can see my character, but I can also show you her in the inventory screen. You can see how sharp she's looking here too. Really nice looking. See all that detail. So originally I had the characters talking to each other, or being very close to each other in terms of how they were positioned. So I'm going to attempt to do something similar. So I'm going to pick up Panam. And put her somewhere where you've got that nice backdrop. So you need to rotate her around. Drop the target there, so she's cool. You can see all that sort of reflective water, which is nice. And then we'll pick up a Judy. Bring her around to face Panam. Now it's going to be a bit awkward getting in the right position, so just make sure they overlap each other and put them a respectable distance away by about here. So they're having a good conversation about events in Night City. Now I can sort of move her closer to make a more salacious looking photo. And if you pause it at the right moment, or freeze the characters and put it in camera mode, you can sort of get that look where they are all together. Kind of overlooking her shoulder, it kind of looks at the moment, rather than into each other's eyes. So we're not going to do that though. So let's just come out of here and move Judy back. I mean, they are a bit too close. Move her back, so it's a bit more of a realistic. Nope, too far away. So again, put her on top of Panam and then just move her away at a respectable distance, like so, and then rotate around. I think Panam's a bit... Yeah, I need to pick up Judy again and move her back. Her feet are just about there, which should be the right sort of place. So they kind of look like they're in a conversation. That's cool. So, you can freeze the target. So if we freeze Judy in that position, and then we go back to Panam as the target, and do the same with her. They're kind of looking at each other now, which is kind of cool. I can sort of move my character down and get in on the conversation. Now you'll see that the lighting is somewhat shaded on this side due to the position of the sun in terms of the game. So what you could do is change the lighting with the mod here. So I can then move that around to create a different time of day, and that then really does have a profound effect on how not only Night City looks in the background, but also the sort of tone that you're getting on the two character, the skin tone and light, excuse me. I'm trying to keep this kind of YouTube friendly, so yeah. So you notice how that sort of gives you a nice shot of the two with that beautiful background there. So if we now go into the camera mode, so I'm going to come back a little bit so that her arm's in the shot, and it seems a bit sort of weird, but then we'll go, let me just hide the menu for a second. Okay, so go into camera mode. And what we'll do is we'll put it in first person, and you've got that lovely kind of look there with the cyberpunk buildings in the background. So you can put depth of field on as well to give it a nice little focus on the two characters in the foreground, which is kind of nice. So let me just hide the UI so you can just grab that if you want to grab that. My positioning might not be in the best in terms of my character, but you can change things like the focal distance. I'm looking at the depth of field. That's not what I wanted to do. It was the camera position, which you can't change unless you're in the drawing mode. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm going to turn the depth of field off. So the thing I wanted to show is the exposure level, which can change the sort of tones of those characters. And again, if you combine that with depth of field, they really sort of stand out now on the screen with that sort of a blurred background, which is kind of nice. And then when you've done that, you can then just change these effects. So what I'll do is I'll remove the HUD, centralize it a bit better. That arm of Panam sort of is kind of it's a shame I can't move around on my axis from this particular first person view I'm using, but I'll keep it like this for now. And then what I can do is I can change the effect, which will have a profound effect on the overall clarity of the image and the color tones, sometimes coming up with some really nice sort of visual effects. Like that's kind of nice there. Devilish red, black and white. So I'll just cycle through them. Some of them are a bit crazy, but yeah, and some nice looking stuff you can do here. So let me just go back and move into a better position now and do the heads only. So we've got a better look at the heads now. So that's a different shot again. Watch my character, put it there. I mean, Panam's got that big sort of hair do, and it's difficult to fit that all in compared to Judy. So now what we do keep the depth of field in, change the effect. I mean, you've got all these other effects as well. I'll just cycle through those as well for you, which is kind of cool. As I said, some better than others. Okay. So what's really nice as well that you can do, and this is now going to take it into another level again, I just crouch down here, is go back to the time of day and shift that over to a more nighttime view. You can see that now change in lighting is just fantastic now. So the reflection of the light on Panam's face, you can sort of just make that out. It makes for a really nice shot. So just stand up and just have a look at those two under the pale moonlight. So again, if I go into camera mode, I can now sort of change with the depth of field on so that they're highlighted in the front. You've got this frame as well, which can help you centralize the characters, which I think they're pretty central despite Panam's big hairdo, and change the effect now. Again, exposure, when it's night time, you can sort of bump the exposure up to give it a bit more clarity on the skin. So there's sort of giving it a lot more clarity of detail under this sort of darkened lighting, which is kind of nice. And if you want to sort of include more of the background image, then you can do that as well. So let's just move that down, make sure that they're the sort of the main focus, making sure to keep Panam's hair in the shot, and then I'll remove that and go through some of these filters again. And again, you can see there's some really nice sort of tones here. That's a bit spooky looking, that one. That's kind of nice. That's intense. And that's due to the overexposure that I've got on to brighten that up. So what I'll do is I'll go back to the original. And I will then turn off the exposure. And we'll keep the depth of field off this time. So keep the exposure as it was, and then we'll cycle through those effects again. Just hide those options. Yeah, kind of a bit crazy. Let me crouch down actually to get more of the background in as well. So that's a really nice sort of shot. Really good lighting, and you've got that sort of, I'll just move it up a bit more just to get a bit of height. So because you've taken off the depth of field, you get that kind of very nice, whoops, scaling of the characters. You know, you can see that they're inside the night city. Again, let's just turn off the HUD. Which is kind of nice. Yeah, bit odd, these overexposed images, but yeah, you can find one that's suitable. And if I move the camera, so that's all good stuff. And moving around, so this is all happening in real time in the game. Let's just have a look at Night City in this maximum resolution with all these options on. Got those real-time reflections in the water. These girls are like, here, what's going on? What are they talking about? And I think I can then sort of interject into this conversation with my character now, if I stand in the right position. So let me just move myself a lot closer and see what happens. Keep it on the drone. turn the depth of field off. So my character looks a bit short compared to those two. They're kind of hanging in the air. And you can actually hide your own character from the shot, which is kind of cool. Yeah, the height of the characters are a bit messed up. Again, that's something I can change. I'm not sure why I'm stuck here. I just move up. It's like the who's I'm trying to break up a fight between these two now, and I'm the small character that's trying to break up the fight. Hey girls, calm down. Yeah, Judy's hair's gone a bit funky. That's because I've got them frozen in time. Now the hair's sort of gone mad. So yeah, let's see if we can correct that. So unfreeze the target. Yep, she's all the way up there. And let's go to Panam, Judy, target, and unfreeze the target and put them back down on the ground. Okay, now let's change the time of day again. Well, it does look lovely in the night time. Just move that to sort of different time of day, get different clarity of image. That's rather nice, very bright. Let's try again now. Let's see what happens. We'll keep them moving though this time. That's better. Right, now I'm towering over them. Right, girls, who was wanting to start trouble before? Now that I'm here, don't mess about with V. So you can do all sorts of stuff like change the expressions on the faces as well as these characters. So that's kind of cool. And I can change my character. Change the facial expressions, which is kind of cool. Yeah, she's surprised. Yeah, charming. She can look at the camera, which is kind of cool. But you can position your character now to be in or out of the so I can do that as well, which is kind of neat. Nope, she's not gonna merge with these two characters, so you can actually turn her on and off as well, which is kind of nice. So let's raise that camera up like that, and let's just move around. You're seeing these really nice models as well. Look at the texture detail as well. It's kind of cool. Yeah, this is a proper stare down. And sort of my character sitting in there. Now, ladies, calm yourselves down, please. He's not worth it. Okay. But yeah, it's just a nice little tool, and it's good that you can sort of put the characters in. So if I wanted to make a little story out of this, I have to stop showing Judy's derriere. Get out of camera mode, and then place, say, someone over here. Let's have a look. Right, spawn in. Let's have a look. So yeah, these three guys now, put them into the scene, and they can interject in this sort of scene with the girls here, and let's just rotate them around. Oh, I'm still locked onto Judy. Never mind, let's just go back. Johnny, target them first. So yeah, I mean, it's a bit fiddly, but once you get the hang of it, and then let's pick him up and get him into this conversation here. Kind of looking a bit disinterested, so let's just turn him around. Again, let's just do it with Jackie as well. And move him over this side. And rotate him around the correct way as well. Okay. So it's all pretty serious stuff going on here. If I use a scan tool, might be able to change his outfit. I hope there's no nude option here, otherwise that would be quite crazy. Keep him in the suit, that's nice. So it's all pretty good stuff. Let's just remove the menu. So yeah, you can have fun with these modding tools. It's a shame that console gamers can't experience the fun and games that you have with it. But yeah, photo mode is pretty good, and create some really nice photos.
Eye of the tiger, babe.
Some nice facial expressions. The ever so serious T-Bug. I mean, yeah, come on, let's make her smile, man. I mean, she's seriously moody. Let's have a look. So we can actually change her expressions. She's a bit, that's her joyful look, really? Yeah, okay, that works. Kind of, she's got no teeth. She looks, oh dear. And yeah, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to insult you. You got no teeth. I think she said that. Find that is kind of insulting. So it's kind of cool that you can sort of do this. Yeah. Looks like a right thug. Yeah, that's the T-Bug we know, angry and resentful. So yeah, really cool stuff. And as I said, this is the game running native 4K resolution, so you're looking at these finer details. All looks pretty good. But it's tanking the system, so you would never be able to play it like this. It'd be too janky. So I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah, this is Cyberpunk 2077 photo mode with mods, being able to introduce all these sort of characters where you can create your own little diorama type scenes, which is kind of cool. To a degree, you obviously can't change the poses. Well, I think you probably can actually, but I'm not experienced enough at using this tool to be able to do that. There's an option for a director, for machinima. So I think, yeah. Okay. Thanks for watching.